Okay guys, today I'm working on Andrew's ProMac55, and I sort of did a little bit of some stuff off camera here. I was trying to figure out my spark situation, and so I went ahead and got that. I put that chip on, and there she is right there. I just used the screw that holds the condenser on, because Jeff showed me that. Jeff at Caveman Saws. And anyways, that worked pretty good. And then the wiring was a little funky, because yeah, there's just one wire that comes from the kill switch that goes on this post, and then the wire that came from the points was going over here. And so I got this all together and everything, and I still had no spark, and I was like, what the? So then I thought, well, I must have a bad coil. So I went and got my 1010, because I was going to take the coil off of it. And so yeah, so I went and got my 1010, and I didn't realize it, but I'd never taken this thing apart. And you know, it's funny how you evolve when you're collecting things. Like when I first started collecting saws, I'd just get them running and clean them up, you know, cosmetically on the outside. And if it ran, then that was it. I would, you know, park it and move on to the next one. And I never really took them apart. But I took this one apart, and man, this thing was just packed full of sawdust and oil. I mean, literally packed in here. Where's that starter? The starter was just loaded full of stuff. I mean, it weighed like an extra pound, and it surprised me that I'd never taken it apart, but you could tell it'd never been apart, because the screws, when you go to take them apart, you can tell they sort of crack, you know, when you first take them apart. And so yeah, it's funny how you evolve with your collecting and stuff. You get a little more confident with things. Like before, you know, I was sort of leery of taking them too far apart, because I didn't want to end up ruining stuff. See, I see some crap on here I want to get off. But anyways, it's funny how you evolve like that. And you know, you just get a little more comfortable taking things apart, and a little more comfortable, and then pretty soon, you know, you're changing cylinders and pistons and taking them clear down to nothing. So yeah, that's sort of a good thing that I'm working on Andrew's saw, because yeah, I took this one apart. I didn't realize how nasty it was inside. But anyways, so what I found out when I took this one apart, so there's a ground wire. Let me put this back down. So there's a ground wire that goes from the coil body to the negative post on the coil, and it was missing on Andrew's saw. And so I think that's why I had no spark, because, well, and I think they had this wire hooked up backwards too. They had it all screwed up. And so anyways, I basically put it the way that one was, and now I got spark. So it was missing that jumper for the ground. And so yeah, it wasn't the coil at all. It was just the wiring was screwed up. See? Oh, look at that. Boom! She got the spark now, boy. So that's cool. We got spark. So yeah, I took the coil off of that one and put it on this one, and I had spark. And then I was like, I wonder if it was just that jumper. So I took this jumper off of that one and put it on this one and plugged it all in the way it's supposed to go, and then I had spark. So the coil was fine on this thing. So crazy. But yeah, that's good. Thank you, Andrew, because now you gave me an excuse to tear this one apart and get it going, because like I said, they didn't run that great before. Now I can see why. She was probably overheating with all that crap inside there. Okay, so yeah, and then I was going to show you guys the difference. So here's a single jet carb, see that? So this is the idle adjustment screw. That's all that is, because it sort of threw me. I was like, well, maybe this is the low and this is the high. No, this is the idle adjustment. That's all it does, is the throttle adjustment. And then this is your single adjustment screw. I think it's just, I'm not sure, but I think it's just the low jet, because somebody was telling me the high jet is fixed on these, so you can't do anything with it. So here, I'll show you the comparison. So here's So here's a regular 2-jet carb, and then here's the funky single jet. See? See the difference? They both have the same idle adjustment screw here, but see, there's your high and low, or your low and high, and this one just has the one. So these ones are basically junk. So what I'll probably end up doing is I'll rob the carburetor off of this one and put it on Andrew's, and then I'll find one for mine later. I'm sure they can be found. So that's the deal with that. And then, oh yeah, and then I'm painting up some bars. I got the bar for Andrew's all painted. I like to paint them this gray. It's called, oh, what is it called? Ah, no, I forgot. Oh, piston gray, that's what it's called. And then this one's for Steven Letz's saw. Because yeah, like I mentioned in that last video, it didn't like that big 24-inch hard nose bar. The clutch just couldn't take it. Yeah, in fact, look at that clutch. It's all black now. I might have to take a look and make sure that's okay. And then, yeah, I got to make my bucking spike still. Yes, yes, yes. So, that's where we're at. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to do, I want to fix this. So this is the plastic that goes in the handle, and see the boss where the screw goes into is busted out. So what I want to try and coat this screw with like maybe WD-40 or something. And then I'm gonna put it in there like that, and then I'm gonna cover the whole thing with this JB Weld. And then I'm hoping once it starts to firm up and harden up a little bit, I'm gonna back this screw out, and then it should be solid that way. So let's try that. So I already sprayed this thing off with some. I already sprayed it off with some brake cleaner. But it'd be nice if we could rough it up a little more. Here we go. The surfaces that we're trying to bond to. Sand them a little bit with some rough 36 grit. Like that. And then we'll mix up some stuff. Did you guys know this? I know most of you guys probably know this, but I never realized it until a few years ago. So see the little nubbin and the caps on these? That's what you use to poke a hole in this. Oh, look at that. It's genius. So we'll put a little of this. I know, I didn't even know that. I always used like a screwdriver or something and poked a hole in it, and here it is right here on the other side of the cap. See, look at that. Bang! Isn't that funny? The things you learn. Okay, now what can we use? What can we use? I always use like a screwdriver or something, but just don't forget to wipe it off. We'll use this guy, that'll work. So, where's that screw? So I'm gonna spray this screw with some WD-40. It'll be our release agent. Sort of like they do, oh, a buddy of mine he worked at a concrete form place, and they'd spray the forms with diesel fuel, a precast place. So we'll just sort of set this in there. But yeah, they'd spray the forms with diesel fuel, and then that would let the concrete release. I might have to make a little, I need to make a little dam on one side. If I can find some decent tape. Yeah, this little saw is coming together. So now all I need is that fuel line. So yeah, let's put a little dam on the side here. Like that. Just a little something for epoxy to go up against. Okay, mix it up. And supposedly this stuff, this is the faster stuff, not the original JB Weld takes for frickin' ever to harden up. But this is supposed to be the faster one that only takes like 6 minutes, so we'll see. So I'm just gonna goop this right on there like that. Let it run in there. Okay, that's probably sufficient. So we'll just let that sit there for a while, and hopefully I can catch it once it starts to harden up. I can back that screw out of there. We'll see what happens. Okay. Wow, this stuff got hard fast. See that? So let's see. Let me cut this tape line here. And then see when it's still soft, you can sort of trim off the excess like that, and then a little over here. Wow, crazy. So let's see if the screw will come out. Now we put our release agent in there, so oh, look at that. Nice. See, there she is. So now it should have some threads in there. Let's take a look. Yep. She's got threads in there now. Nice. See that threaded hole? Can you see that? So yeah, we basically made a threaded hole again. So we'll let that harden up some more. Perfect. That's nice. Okay, cool. That fixed. Now, let's see. These things I always like to drill a hole right here because it's a lot easier to prime the saw that way. Otherwise, it's a pain in the butt. So I'm going to drill a hole in this. But let's get the carburetor off of this guy. So on these 1010s, or any of these 10 series saws, I think if it's easiest if you unhook unhook it from the choke, and then it lets the tension off. Wow, that one's stuck on there. Probably never had the carb off of this thing. Whoa, there she goes. And then take that rod off. And then get the fuel line off. Oh, come on. So if anybody's got an extra 2-jet carb out there, let me know. I'll buy it off you. All right. Okay, here's our 2-jet. See, the earlier ones, they just have this on there. They don't have this funky cover thing. So let's get these bolts out of here. So there's our 2-jetter. We'll put, so yeah. So see that? 2-jet, single jet. Junk. So let's take a peek in this carburetor, see what it looks like. For some reason, it just seems so much cleaner when you're on a blue towel. So we'll take a look inside this guy. Yeah, it's sort of irritating. I had a whole buttload of extra parts for these 1010s, and I got rid of it all. Yeah, she's a little crunchy. Let me see what I got. I think I bought 2 of these carb kits. What do we got here? That could be it. Could you be there? Would you be there? Let's see what this is. I think this is the right kit. Let's take a look. Ah, yes sir, that's our guy right there. Nice. So let's peel this piece of crap out of here. And remember, there's a diaphragm and then there's a gasket too. So there's 2 pieces. And this carburetor was actually working, so we'll just give her a little spray out with some cleaner. Float level looks good. So see, they got the diaphragm and then there's this gasket, which is this guy. So yeah, we'll just flop this guy in there. And then remember to hook that into the fork. Don't just let it flop on top. There we go. Perfection. The needle and seat looked like it was pretty free, so I'm not going to mess with that. So there's that side. Okay, there's one side done. Let's see what the other side looks like. The old Walbro SDC. Oh! Okay, let's pop this guy off of here. Wow, this thing's pretty clean on this side. See, that screen's perfectly clean. Shoot, it actually looks pretty good on this side. Oh yeah, she's clean as a whistle. I ain't messing with it. I ain't messing with it. Basically just needed that diaphragm replaced because it was a little crunchy. Make sure I get this on here right. Yep. Okay, I think we're good to go. Because like I said, this saw was running before, so she should be just fine. Okay. So, carburetor's ready. Let's see here. I wanted to drill a hole in this bad boy. Let me go do that real quick. Here we go, got a nice hole drilled right in the middle. Now I don't have to fight it trying to prime it. So shoot, let's flop this thing back together. Let's see. I think this kit came with a base gasket, I think. Let's see. Oh yeah. right there. Perfect. Okay, so this guy's gonna go like this. And see these things, they're knurled. They're sort of knurled on the outside, so you can turn, I guess the low jet you can't, but the outside one actually is knurled, so you could possibly turn it with your fingers. See if that lines up. Yep. Nice. This goes like this. So we'll hook up this throttle. Like that. Choke. Over here, like that. Make sure my gasket hasn't slipped out or anything crazy. I hope that looks good. And then the fuel line we'll have to wait on. We're waiting on fuel line. But we can squirt some fuel down the carb and see if she runs. How about that? Where'd my little wrench go? Here it is. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Smooth action. And then we hook up our choke over here. There's our choke. Nice. Okay. So we got the 2-jet carb on there. Now we just got to clean up the starter and put it back on. We'll see if she runs. Okay. Okay. Let's put this bottom handle on. See, I got it all painted up. And I got, this is all hard. Our JB Weld's all cured. So let's put the bottom handle on this thing and then we'll see if we can get it to fire up. So this needs to go here. And then this goes here, like that. Okay, yeah, so that screw goes there. And then here's our insert. Oh, look at that. She fits right in there. Put that screw in. All right, she tightened up. Perfection. Tighten this guy up. Okay. Put our spark plug wire on, and then I think for now we'll put the starter off my other 1010 on there because it's in better shape right now. It's all cleaned up and ready to go, so we'll stick it on just for now. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Compression valves open. Closed. Okay. Are we ready to see if she'll start? Let's see if she'll give us a little something on squirt. Of course, remember we don't have a fuel line yet, so squirt a little in there. And I'll try to hold the throttle open. that sounds good. She's a runner. Let's do it one more time. That thing got a crack to it. Come on. Woo! Oh yeah. Nice. Okay, she runs. That's so awesome. Okay, guys. Now we're just waiting for a fuel line. And I'm gonna make me a little cool little exhaust pipe sticking out here. And then she's gonna be done. We're gonna paint up the top, put a little black on there. A few more little things. So yeah, we'll see you on the next one.